who was born, raised, and schooled in the United States of America. If you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have made all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority. The myth of race has to be maintained at all costs in this country. Because if white people have to give up the color of their skin as being something that makes them perfect, what do they have left? If we start teaching the truth about history, if we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions to civilization, it will totally change the way we conduct ourselves in the classroom. It will have to. Columbus didn't discover America. We can't discover a place where people are already living, but we celebrate that every October. It's a lie. We need to get over it. We need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth.
White person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand.
Hey y'all, what's up, what's up? It's your girl here, MJ's Nia, or you can just call me Nia. So, I'm gonna say this right off the jump. This is social media. What we do on social media, we share thoughts, ideals, and opinions. And what I'm doing right now is fair use. Please make sure that you look up these two words, social media and fair use, before you watch the video even further, okay? Also, I'm going to show you an article. I really do wish that people will read articles and read certain things before they open their mouths. So, I'm beginning to question up a lot of Black Lives Matter movements. I have to, because I'm beginning to see that there is a lot of lies being spread around, and we're not really getting a whole lot of truth. Now, you might say, what's going on? Why are you thinking this, Nia? You're black. You should automatically believe that black people matter. Oh, yes, we do matter. I believe we do need equal rights. But something is going on here. And I said this at the beginning of the year. I said that Black Lives Matter is beginning to look like a trend. Did I not say this? And I also see that it's something is going on. I feel like, also, I'm gonna just say this. I feel like the people who are running for president, they're using it for vote.
America is really on the ballot. We have to decide right now which America we want to be.
This year, the two presidential candidates are focused on two different aspects of the BLM movement.
Some about law and order.
Our black lives have been devalued by our society.
Taking a look back at how the issue of civil rights impacted the 2016 election, research led by several universities, including Northeastern and George Mason this year, shows people who expressed concern about biased policing were more likely to vote for the Democratic nominee, Hillary Clinton, while people who expressed support for police were more connected to Donald Trump. Combined with the national polls from this summer, which say about 61% of voters hold favorable opinions of BLM, Joe Biden has the clear advantage.
Now it's time to galvanize ourselves around this moment of kinetic energy that is really demanding and asking for change across our country.
But a new poll this week by Politico and Morning Consult shows the favorable view of BLM dipped 9 points to 52% since June. Post-convention polls also show Biden's lead over President Trump is narrowing. Pleasant says November's outcome is hard to predict, but says he's proud the movement is still ongoing.
People are using Black Lives Matter for promotion. So I really don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to have to talk about Breonna Taylor as well, as how they are using that. They're basically trying to use Breonna Taylor, like anything that has to do with Black Lives Matter. They're trying to use it for themselves to, make themselves look good in the eyes of Black people. And I think us Black people, we need to be aware of this. Also, I really do truly believe that this is starting a race war. The race war pretty much already started, but I think this is fueling, putting more fuel to the fire. I really do think that it's getting worse. And I think that we need to stop, we need to really stop looking at the media when it comes to Black Lives Matter. I think that we should reevaluate the whole thing. Now, let's start off as to how did Black Lives Matter? How was it, created? Why was it created? Who did it? And who was it founded by? Well, it was founded by 3 Black women. Yes, 3 Black women. And the reason why they did this like pretty much right after the Trayvon Martin case. It came out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 2013. This was right after, a year after Trayvon Martin. Now,
Black life, and that's really important. These are protests for the life of Black people. Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
People from all walks of life are looking around and saying, this is not the type of country I want to live in. I am tired. I don't want to be part of a society that allows unarmed Black people to be killed every single day by police. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want?
7 years ago when we said Black Lives Matter, people were saying, why? People were questioning. We have a Black president. Why do we need to say that? Didn't we get rid of those things? Didn't racism go away? People were saying, why not all lives matter?
Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. No justice, no peace, no racist police.
the reason why I'm starting off with them is because a lot of people are saying, well, wait a minute. This was made by 3 feminists. This is, I'm talking about right now. I had this conversation with someone. They were saying that these women didn't like Black men. They were feminists, and they only did this for the LGBTQ community. This was not really for Black Lives Matter. So that right there, that's when I started to question up a whole lot about Black Lives Matter. And I was like, okay, I thought this was made for, for Black, it was made for, Black Lives Matter, for people who were getting shot and killed by policemen and police brutality. We're fighting for equal rights. That's what Black Lives Matter. But they made this right after, like a year after Trayvon Martin. Remember his case where he got killed by George Zimmerman? He was walking in a neighborhood. He looked suspicious because he had a hoodie, yada, yada, yada. So, excuse me. So I thought this was kind of odd that there was some Black people already questioning up Black Lives Matter. Now, for one, I don't believe that. I try to find proof that, or evidence or something that showed that these women. Also, I want people to really pay attention to this. Feminism means women's rights on the basis of equality of sexes. Okay, I want to bring this out. It does not mean that a woman who is a feminist hate men. A lot of men like to say, especially, I'm sorry to say this, my brothers, my Black brothers, but a lot of you guys think that when a Black woman are feminists, that they hate black men. That's not what feminist is about. Feminist is about having equal rights just as much as just a man. So on this article right here, it says, today I learned feminism does not mean man hating. And this is on the shethepeople.tv, whatever.com. And it says, feminism, by definition, is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. In no way, form, or mean does that imply that feminists hate men. So I just want to bring this out because these three black women, I remember a while back someone was saying, it was in this year, and it was when the women had, some women in New York, I don't know where they were at, they were in front of the Trump Tower, and they were painting blue or whatever, they were painting something over the Black Lives Matter, and the people down in the comments were trying to say that, oh, well, Black Lives Matter was created by three women who are feminists, and they hate black men. Feminist does not mean that they hate black men. Please look up this word, look up the definition of it, and try to understand it. Also have a conversation with other women, with other men about it, so you can get a good understanding of the word feminism. I think a lot of you guys misunderstand this word so very badly. So let's go ahead further back into the Black Lives Matter topic. Didn't like black men. I couldn't find this. Yes, they are two of the women are queer, like they are, lesbians, but that's about it. But I didn't see anything where it says that these three women hate black men. But this is the rumor that I've heard, that the women who created Black Lives Matter hated black men. So this was the first time I was like, okay, let me start looking at BLM a little bit closer. Then it's kind of funny to me. I've been waiting pretty much all this year. I know I heard about a little girl. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but a little girl, she was killed by the Black Lives Matter protester. Yes. I'm gonna let y'all hear the story, and yeah, we got to talk about that.
We are shooting each other up on our streets in this city, and you shot and killed a baby. And it wasn't one shooter, there were at least two shooters. An 8-year-old baby. We are doing each other more harm than any police officer on this force. We've had over 75 shootings in this city over the past several weeks. You can't blame that on APD. It's a lot of change that has to happen across this country. And police reform is a big part of it. But we also got to reform our own communities. So if you are a part of a protest or a demonstration that looks like it's going the wrong way, that's your time to pull back, because you are no longer a part of the solution. You are a part of the problem.
We understand the frustration of racial uproots. We understand. We ain't got nothing to do with that. We innocent. We didn't mean no harm. My baby didn't mean no harm.
Ninth birthday. We ain't doing nothing.
They say Black Lives Matter. You killed your own. Killed your own this time.
So the mom pretty much said, you kill a child. Armed protester in Georgia fired into a car, striking an 8-year-old girl. Authorities say armed protester near the Georgia Wendy's where Rayshard Brooks was killed by police opened fire on a car, killing a little girl. Yeah. So I want to explain this so you guys can understand. So basically the mother and her daughter were in their car and they were trying to get home. Apparently, these Black Lives Matter protesters put up barricades because for an incident that happened where I think another black person got killed at around Wendy's area. I'm gonna show you his name. So they put up these barricades to protest around this area. I guess some of them were armed with weapons, and the mother proceeded to go through the barricades that they had up there. I don't know if they had cones or whatever up, and they started shooting at the car. And I'm thinking it's because maybe they thought they were going to get run over or somebody was trying to hurt them in the car, so they started shooting at the car. So I want you to understand what exactly happened, why they were shooting at the car. So what I'm trying to figure out yet again, why was a Black Lives Matter protester, I don't know who they were. I don't know if they were black, white, Spanish. There's all kind of people who are protesters, not just black people. So within the Black Lives Matter movement, there's all people of colors that are out there protesting right along black people. So we don't know who they are. Nobody really confessed. Nobody knows what's going on with that case. So it puzzles me, and I'm like, okay, I'm so confused. Why are we shooting in the car? So I guess they must have thought that the person in the car was gonna kill them or something. I don't know, but this was really odd, really strange to me. So this is when I really start to look at Black Lives Matter movement even harder. So I don't know if y'all heard about this, where people were shaving their heads. I don't know if y'all know or heard about this. I heard about it, and I'm like, what the heck is this? So this woman's photo was used in a hoax campaign against Black Lives Matter. Then the internet fought back. It was a voice message from a friend that led Sarah to discover she'd been unwillingly recruited into an online war. Sarah, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm going to show you the word, to protect her identity, checked her phone on the morning of Australia's Black Lives Matter protest and saw a flurry of unread notifications. I want to let you know there's this weird thing happening, her friend said in a message. The friend revealed that Sarah's image was being used online by people pretending to be her. Members of the 4chan community, anonymous website notorious for monogamy and racist culture, were using a photograph of a bald Sarah to encourage other women to join a fake campaign to shave their heads for racial equality. A hashtag was coined for the trend, #BaldForBLM, and it was part of a campaign to undermine the Black Lives Matter movement. At the time, I was confused and shocked. I couldn't understand what the point of it was, Sarah said. An online war. Prior to all this happening, Sarah had shaved her head. Sarah's friend interviewed her about her new look for an online article about people changing their appearance. I gave a brief background on my she must have a illness or something. Provided photographs of me before with her hair and totally after bald. Loved that story. Sarah's friend had recently introduced her to Facebook groups for women with hair loss. Okay, she has the illness. So I've never heard of that illness. I was wondering. Sarah's friend had recently introduced her to Facebook groups for women with their hair loss, which were filled with people talking about experiences with wigs, losing their eyebrows, and coming to terms with looking different. Today I show my solidarity for #Black Lives Matter by shaving my head in protest. #GoBaldForBLM. I feel amazing. Members of those groups sounded the alarm about something strange that was happening. They shared screenshots of Twitter accounts that had stolen photographs shared in these online communities. These accounts were tweeting as if they were feminists who shaved their heads in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. The idea was to mock women who follow suit on these forums or send to them abuse. The burst of the host. The first post for Shan containing the #BaldForBLM hashtag was made on June 4th by an anonymous American user. The post read, "Here's the plane, get a #BaldForBLM trending on Twitter and Instagram." So I'm not gonna read any more about this. So, as you can see, somebody made a hoax, and it was telling people to shave their head, go bald for BLM. This is where I'm saying, you see what I'm saying? That it's promoting something, how people are using it, how they're using the BLM, and they're promoting something else. Are you getting it? Do you see what I'm going at? This word was created simply to have for black people to get equal rights, and it's getting all twisted up. Breonna Taylor. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I really do believe that Breonna Taylor needs justice. All right, guys, breaking news. I had to go and do some more research on this case because it still wasn't making any sense. I still was confused. So that was like the old video that I made like 2 weeks ago. I say 2 days, 2 weeks ago, because I still was confused. I said I had to go do some more research on this and look up some articles. So basically, what I'm noticing in this case is Jamarcus Glover, the ex-boyfriend who is the criminal, the one with the illegal drug activity. They got him mixed up with Kenneth Walker. In an actual interview, in an actual article by Daily Mail, it says Jamarcus Glover said ex-girlfriend Breonna Taylor was not involved in illegal drug activity and was innocent. He clearly even said that. Then you have Kenneth Walker, who was her current boyfriend, who was in the house with her, that was sleeping, but they woke up to the loud banging, I'm guessing, from the policeman. The policeman said they knocked. And this is another situation too, is the whole knocking. I'm still confused about what is the law on when there's a warrant, or are you supposed to bang on the door, go in, guns a-blazing? I'm not quite sure. But I'm gonna show you 2 videos. The first one is gonna be about Breonna Taylor, about Kenneth Walker actually talking about that night he was with his girlfriend, Breonna Taylor. And the second video is going to be about a case that just came out about Trump's lawyer. The FBI went in with a warrant, but they started guns up. I guess they were shooting 2 in there. I don't know. And it's about the knocking. But do policemen knock? That's what I want to know. What is the law on that? So I'm going to show you the videos and let me know what you think of it.
Down to one question. Why were police breaking down her door in the middle of the night?
They should have never been there in the first place. It should have never happened.
A CNN analysis finds key miscalculations, including using months-old information, led Louisville police to include Breonna Taylor in a high-risk operation targeting drug houses. Some facts are in dispute, these are not. Police raided Taylor's apartment under the suspicion she was involved with handling money and drugs for an alleged Louisville drug dealer, her ex-boyfriend Jamarcus Glover. When it was all over, police found no drugs, no money in her apartment. Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room technician who worked 2 jobs, who had never been convicted of a crime, was dead, shot 5 times by police.
911, Operator Harris, where's your emergency?
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend.
To understand how this tragedy unfolded that night, you have to come here to the door where it began, just before 1 a.m. March 13th. Officers for the Louisville Police Department arrive with a no-knock warrant, but say they did knock anyway. Sergeant John Mattingly, recorded in this police interview, admits he had limited information.
They said she was probably there alone, so we predetermined to give her plenty of time to come to the door. Banged on the door, no response. Banged on it again, no response. At that point, we started announcing ourselves, please come to the door. Please, we have a search warrant.
Inside, Breonna Taylor wasn't alone. She had just dozed off next to her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. Walker telling police the knocking, banging at the door scared them, thinking it could be Taylor's ex-boyfriend breaking in.
She's like, who is it? Loud at the top of her lungs. No response. So I'm like, what the heck? So then I grabbed my gun, which is legal, like I'm licensed to carry everything. I've never even fired my gun outside of a range. I'm scared to death.
Walker says he never heard anyone say police. Neither did multiple neighbors who spoke with CNN, including a neighbor whose door is just inches away. What they heard was shouting, banging, gunshots.
The door, comes, off the hinges. So I just let off one shot. Then all of a sudden, there's a whole lot of shots. There's just shooting, we're both on the ground, and then when all the shots stop, I'm, panicking. She's right there on the ground, bleeding.
Walker said he purposely aimed his gun towards the ground. Sergeant John Mattingly was struck in the leg and was one of 3 officers who returned fire.
As soon as the shot hit, I could feel the heat in my leg. And so I just returned fire. I got 4 rounds off. And it was simultaneous. It's boom, 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 boom.
Mattingly is on administrative reassignment, along with a second officer who fired shots that night, Miles Cosgrove. The third police officer to fire his weapon, Detective Brett Hankison, was standing outside and fired 10 rounds through a closed and curtained patio door. He has been fired, is appealing, but according to Louisville's police chief, his blind shooting displayed an extreme indifference to the value of human life, which his lawyers deny.
I was asleep, and I woke up to gunshots, and it scared me as soon as I woke up and they were just going off.
The gunshots whizzed through walls, windows. Bullet holes were found everywhere, in the kitchen, bedrooms, in a neighbor's apartment with small children nearby. Multiple neighbors called 911 asking for police, only finding out later it was the police. One of the neighbors recorded this video of Taylor's boyfriend being arrested while pleading with police to help his girlfriend bleeding inside. All charges against the boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, would be dropped.
You can tell it was brutal.
Breonna Taylor's sister, Janiyah, who police apparently did not know also lived in the apartment, was out of town that night, returning to find her bedroom covered in bullets and a pool of her sister's blood.
When we had to clean up, if I could show you what it looked like in there, you would be like, wow, that is very horrific. Wrong.
Attorneys for Breonna Taylor's family say the police mistakes began well before they knocked down her door.
Sloppy intelligence, getting a no-knock warrant when it was not necessary to have a no-knock warrant.
Police got 5 warrants approved. 4 were for suspected drug dealers and suspected drug houses. Lumped into that with similar language was the warrant for Breonna Taylor's apartment. According to a source, police told the judge Taylor was Jamarcus Glover's current girlfriend, and the warrant suggests Glover was having drugs delivered to Taylor's apartment by mail to be shuttled to the crack houses. Her family says the information police had on Taylor was outdated or incorrect. She hadn't dated Glover in months. A package police say they saw Glover picking up at Taylor's apartment was likely a pair of shoes, according to the family attorney. And despite what officers were told before the raid, Breonna Taylor certainly did not live alone. The family lawsuit against police summed it up as the incredibly stale nature of this intelligence.
We just want the truth to come out. And we don't want to rush anything, and we know it's complicated.
Circuit Court Judge Mary Shaw, who signed the warrants, tells CNN in a statement she spent more than 30 minutes considering the warrant application and subsequently made the probable cause determination required of me by law. Breonna Taylor's death was a tragedy, the judge told CNN. Her death will stay with me forever. Taylor's family wants more than sympathy and understanding. They want police officers charged with murder. I'm sure your attorneys have told you that is hard to do in the United States.
We don't expect it to be easy. We don't expect the truth to be easy to no one because it's not easy to us. But we know the truth, and we're willing. We're going to fight this to the end. You know what I mean? So, she's just Breonna Taylor to y'all, but this is our family to us. This is our baby, and she's going to get the justice she deserves.
Wolf, just one of the officers involved, responded to CNN. Sergeant John Mattingly, through his attorney, says he was just following orders, not involved in the planning, and at all times followed established police procedures. Louisville, Wolf, remains on edge, waiting to find out if any of these police officers will be charged with Breonna Taylor's death.
We've heard, in the Gates and Manafort case,
Bob Mueller had no problem, no knock, guns pulled raid, which I've talked to folks in law enforcement, say they reserve those kind of raids for bad guys with guns who are going to put up a fight. It is very rare for folks to do no knock raids on that case. And in that case,
all right, Josh, we'll come back to you in a second.
Josh, you had your chance. So, and in this case as well, you had Gates and Manafort on things that were happening in 2013, completely unrelated to this election. If this were the case that you're talking about here, you could have the same kind of thing. Like if it were that tightly tied to this president, Mueller could have easily done it.
The President of the United States had dinner with Michael Cohen 1 week ago,
right.
as Gloria just reminded us. He said, Michael Cohen is my lawyer.
Right.
The highest level of justice, as Josh just said, has just signed off on an FBI unannounced raid on the President's personal lawyer's office.
Why was it filtered through the Southern District?
We don't know everything.
We don't know
why he
but
used
it doesn't stop anybody here from opining into the
I'm
thousands
not
of
opining.
ways.
I'm saying that I suspect that to say that this is not a big deal strikes me.
I do want Josh, as a former FBI supervisory special agent, you're saying it's not true that the no-knock midnight raids are only done on bad guy drug dealers with guns. They go ahead.
That's right, and this isn't a disrespect to Mr. Urban. I mean, points for creativity. I understand the situation that he's in. I'm just saying that if you're a law enforcement officer and you are focusing on a crime, it doesn't just involve those who are dangerous. It involves those who may be destroying evidence. But the fact is, the point that was made has nothing to do with what I just said a moment ago,
Josh, so
as far as this being signed off
for
at the highest
FBI
levels of the Department of Justice.
So, Josh, it's normal for the FBI to no knock, guns drawn on a matter like Mr. Manafort's? That's
now
a
you're saying
normal
something
procedure?
different. I didn't say normal. You just said it's not the case.
No,
I'm saying
just asking,
that in order to preserve evidence, the FBI will
Josh,
approach
just
the
answer my one
situation
question.
in that
Is it
manner.
normal or not normal for the FBI to no knock, guns drawn in a Manafort type raid? Yes or no?
What I'm saying is that it requires a judge to sign off on, and in this case, the FBI agents convinced the judge that it was warranted in this case. So the argument really is superfluous. What I'm saying is if you look at the case of the Southern District, this is separate than what Mueller is doing.
All right, so there you have it. There you have it. The first video that I showed, it was basically telling you how the Breonna Taylor story, how it unfolded. This is my first time seeing this. I heard bits and pieces of the story. I heard that she was still with Glover, the first ex-boyfriend. Apparently, she cheated on her boyfriend, apparently, with Kenneth. If that's what allegedly that's what happened. But her boyfriend is Kenneth. It's always been Kenneth. They've been with each other for years. The other guy was just, a hit and run for her. That's not really even her ex-boyfriend. That's just somebody that she had on the side. That's not a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was Kenneth Walker, the guy who was not a criminal, never been in prison, never been in prison, never did drugs, anything. Didn't have nothing to do with drugs. Same thing with Breonna Taylor. She never been in prison, never had anything to do with drugs, never did no criminal activity. These people were both innocent. So that's where the mix-up is coming up, is her boyfriend, and that's what people are running with. And also the shield thing. I guess they were saying that he used her as a shield from the police. Y'all, bullets don't have no names. Can y'all please stop with that lame behind freaking rumor that y'all putting out there that her boyfriend used her as a shield? Stop with that. I also show you a second video on Knox. As you can see, I think they had an agent there who used to be a FBI agent. He was basically stating that you don't have to knock. You can just barge right in. So what I'm finding out is policemen can just barge right in. They don't have to knock. So that clearly answered my question about should they knock. This is why I want to do more research on here, and I believe that all of us should do some more research, and we need to look up articles, we need to look up news, we need to look up interviews and anything, audio, because I'm finding out some new stuff here. Like, this is all new to me. About the boyfriends, that was new. And also, she was not asleep. So please, Black people, stop saying that she was asleep. She was not asleep. And also, I believe her sister even talked about how... Now, I wanted to share something from the sister of Breonna Taylor. She posts a reaction against violent protests. So, basically, right after everybody heard about Breonna Taylor They immediately went to a peaceful protest, but then later it became violent, leading to several injuries and damage to vehicles in nearby buildings. So this is what Breonna Taylor's sister said. She said, "At this point, y'all are no longer doing this for my sister. You guys are just vandalizing stuff for no reason," Palmer said in a Facebook post. And it says, "I had a friend ask people why they are there. Most didn't even know the protest was for my sister." So it basically goes to show you that a lot of the people, when they're going out here doing rioting and looting, they're just doing it because there's an opportunity for them to get free stuff and also to tear up things. And half of the time, these people that's out here vandalizing, they're not even doing anything. And my thing is, we shouldn't even be doing that, period, for nobody. We're supposed to be going out here trying to fight for equal rights. That's not fighting for equal rights. And I'm going to show you a video to show you that what some real black people were doing out here. They were actually out here standing up to the mayors and the governors and actually going out there calling them out and having how you say it? They were speaking. How you say it? Well, they were I'll say it like this. They were a peaceful speaker. The word is not in my head right now, but I'm going to show you the video.
Had intended to get up here and talk about how racist Robert E. Lee was, but I'm going to talk about you, Connie. Sitting over there shopping while we talking about Robert E. Lee. This is a picture of you shopping while we talking about racism and history in this country. Only white members of this board got up while we were up here talking too, because you don't give a damn. And it's clear. But I'm going to tell you what the slaves, my ancestors, said about Robert E. Lee, since you don't know history, sister. Let me tell you that they said when he got the plantation, after he got off the field where 27,000 people died at Gettysburg, Connie, Robert E. Lee was a brutal slave master. Not only did when he whooped the slaves, he said, lay it on them hard. After he said, lay it on them hard, he said, put brine on them so it'll burn them. That's what Robert E. Lee did. And you set your arrogant self in here and sit on there shopping while the pain and the hurt of the people of this community is on display, because you don't give a damn and you should resign. You should have resigned 2 years ago when you choked a white man in his house. You should have resigned 2 weeks ago when you got on TV and said foolishness. And you should walk out of here and resign and never come back, because you are the example of racism in this community. You are horrible. Now to the rest of the board. You have an obligation to the people of this community, and 81% of them are black. And do you need a Klan rally outside, Mr. Goday, before you end it? Because holding it up means that you put that building in jeopardy. You do, sir. Because all over the country, they're burning stuff down. And black folks in this city have stood with protesters. I ain't seen you elected officials out there with them, making sure that nothing goes south in Baton Rouge. It's been folks in this community who give a damn. Not just when it's comfortable, but every time. And 4 years ago, we came down here. Mr. Drake, they say you're a good man. Be a good man. Black folks say you're a good man. White folks say you're a good man. Your legacy is attached to tonight, brother. Your legacy. Now, let me say to the black members of the board, it's the most solidarity I've seen out of y'all in forever. Let's keep it that. Let's stand on this moving forward, because we don't need to apologize for Connie, Evelyn. She showed you who she was when she was sitting next to you while you were talking shopping. You don't need another example. Now, when do we as Baton Rouge stop being in 1856? If you want to name the building after somebody, how about PBS Pinchback, the first black governor of the state of Louisiana, when he was governor during Reconstruction? You want another name? Oscar Dunn, who was the lieutenant governor of the state of Louisiana in the 1860s, that gave the right for Darius Landis and Don Collins and Evelyn Ware Jackson and Tremel Howard to get here. You want to name it after somebody from Reconstruction? Name it after the people who fought for abolition of slavery. If you want to name it after somebody, honor the right people, the people who are on the right side of history. But it's your ancestor that the school is named after. So you're holding on to your heritage. But we built this joint for free. And we've done begging you to do what's right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so this is basically how we're supposed to be handling things right now. We're supposed to be fighting for equal rights, not doing all this other stupid stuff. And please, I would like for people to stop saying something like this.
You black people are the racists.
Y'all do things and you wonder why you're disrespected.
Are you serious?
You're playing your music that loud, and I can feel it in my car. And I couldn't even talk to myself.
So you say black people are racist?
Oh, more than white people, no doubt. And y'all are babies. We've had the Vietnamese have been here for 50 years, and they're all educated with good jobs. They don't have all the problems y'all have. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, y'all are problems in this country. There's all this shit with y'all burning places and rioting and then stealing other people's property. Do you see any white people doing that?
Are you serious?
Do you see any Vietnamese
I
doing
promise,
that?
I promise I think I'm dreaming right now.
No,
Are you
you're not
seriously
dreaming,
having this
buddy. This is
conversation?
the United States of America, and we're getting tired of this shit.
So what are you trying to say, man?
What I'm trying to say is you're disrespectful. It could be a white person, and I would have said the same thing.
I'm disrespectful. I
You
just
are
pulled up
by
to go to the
having
store.
your music like that.
I just
You know
pulled up
what
to go to
you're
the store.
doing. You know what you're doing.
How am I being disrespectful?
Because that music is so loud, I couldn't even talk on the phone.
Man,
That's disrespectful.
My music ain't even up. What you mean?
You what?
My music wasn't even up.
Dude, you're going to get yours. Believe me.
Hold on. Are you threatening me or something?
No, I'm not threatening
You said, what I'm getting in?
You're going to get in trouble. In this country, we're
What
going
am
to deal
What
with
am I
you.
going to get?
What we're going to get is
You
jail.
drunk, huh?
We're going to get prison. You start that looting. I notice y'all not doing that in Houston.
Who is y'all, man?
Y'all is black people.
Say, man, look here. Keep it.
I look at the TV and all I see looting is black people. That's all I see.
Hey,
demonstrators.
your people just killed 2 of your people.
What?
Yeah.
But y'all people just killed 2 of y'all people.
Your people. Your
My
people.
people. I'm Hispanic.
Well, whatever you are.
Yeah, I'm Hispanic. And
I don't care whatever you are.
Mexicans come here, they don't loot.
So what-
Mexicans
so
come
what
here,
are you
they
saying?
don't riot.
So you saying
all they do is work.
So you
I don't see Mexicans coming with their music loud like that. Do you ever see a white person doing that? Or Mexicans or Vietnamese? Well, you better believe
Hey, what's
it.
your name?
It's none of your goddamn business.
So it's none of your goddamn business what I do with my car.
Oh, I called.
I'ma stay here too.
And I had the recording on.
And I'ma stay here.
And I'm getting ready to go right now.
And I'ma stay right here.
You'll be here. Just stay there.
You stay here.
I don't need to stay here.
So yes, I just want to let you guys know it's not just black people that's out here looting. It's other different races of people. They already found there. If you have not been watching the video very clearly, there's other different races of people that's out here that is looting and rioting right along with the black people out here. It's not just black people. It's all different races are doing it as well. I also talked about a YouTuber I think months ago, how he got caught out there in an act with the looters, and they started questioning him up because they wanted to know why he was out there. So, and he was white. He was a white YouTuber. So please stop sitting here saying that it's only black people that's taking this Black Lives Matter movement and twisting it around so they can go loot and riot. And then another thing too, when we're out here in public in our everyday life and we come across racism against us, this is how we should, handle that situation. I'm gonna show you another video before I go.
So let me tell you guys what just happened to me. I have an appointment to get a gel manicure and pedicure at a local salon. I walk in, my water's ready, they're waiting for me. I put my feet in the water, and just as I do that, a lady walks in. She says, I would like to get a pedicure. They tell her, we only have 2 workers. She has an appointment. You need to come back. The lady says, no, I can't come back. So I look over, and next thing you know, they're running her water. And then I see that they start her service. So I said to the manager, what happened to my appointment? Do I not have an appointment now because she decided she wanted to get a pedicure? The manager says to me, oh, you just need to be patient. So I can feel myself rising. I could feel myself getting angry. So I just had to decide in that moment, how do I want to respond? Because they've made a choice, right? The lady, the Caucasian lady, made a choice when she said, no, I'm not leaving. They responded by making a corresponding choice of doing her service and telling me I just needed to be patient. So it was at that moment that my scheduled 2 services became less valuable than her one unscheduled service. And the reason why, in addition to the poor service that I received today, now let me just tell you guys what I did. I took the towel that was on my little pedicure station. I said to myself, you don't have to be treated this way. I grabbed that towel, I dried my feet, and I walked out. The manager didn't say anything. She didn't try to stop me. She didn't apologize. It was what it was. I want you to understand this. When we say that we experience differential treatment on a daily, it's not an exaggeration. And additionally, this is how situations that could be small turn into big situations, because had I got so angry and acted out of character, then I would have been the angry black woman who needs to get control. But it was okay. To everyone in the shop, to the lady who refused to wait, to the lady who was the manager of the shop, to the lady and her husband who were waiting, it was okay. Everything was okay. So I want you to know that until these kind of things stop being okay, it's going to always be a problem. This Black Lives Matter thing is getting a lot of news right now, but it's been a problem. And it's a problem everywhere that we go, and it's a problem more times than not. So until things like this stop being okay, the problem is not going to go away. I was the customer with the appointment. I should have rightfully gotten the service. She should have had to wait. She should have had to walk out, but she didn't. They were fine with losing my business. They didn't care how it made me feel. I was invaluable. That is a problem.
Now, did you get anything from that, black people, my black people? We need to handle things in a respectful manner. We do not need to be jumping up, ready to fight somebody, ready to kill somebody, ready to go shoot somebody, ready to curse somebody out. No, we need to handle things in a respectful manner. I understand you guys, we are all very upset, and we're tired of sitting around. We're tired of sitting around getting treated the way we're getting treated. This is why we need to fight for equal rights. We need to go out and show a better example of this. Like how some of these black people that were actually going in front of the mayors and the governors, and they were actually trying to get rules changed so people like Breonna Taylor will not get killed again. That's what we need to do. We need to focus on that. We don't need to defund the policemen. We just need them to teach the policemen on how to handle black people while they're out there. Treat us fairly. Because what happened to Breonna Taylor, that could have been me. That could have been any other black person. That could have happened to anybody. What happened to George Floyd, that could have happened to anybody. So we need to handle this in a different way. I think we're going about the wrong way. We need to make sure that we are getting out there saying, hey, we need to look at these rules and these laws again when policemen are knocking on the door. We need to ask these policemen how are they handling this situation when we're pulling black people over to the side of the curb. How are we handling this? That is the question that we need to take up to the governors and the mayors. Please keep this in mind, black people. People were like looting and all this other mess. Honey, I want to talk to her sister so bad. I have someone that told my brother over the phone that, I don't want to protest, but I want to go loot. And I'm like, WTF? Like, what is wrong with my black people? Are we not caring about the actual black people that are getting killed? Are we caring about is going out looting? Like, for real? This is why I'm saying, like, this is why people really are not taking Black Lives Matter seriously, because we're not taking it seriously. We have to take it seriously, people. So back to the original video. I was confused myself too about this story, and then I'm gonna come. We're gonna break it down, and I'm gonna just tell you what's really going on, and we need to be careful out here. So, what if y'all not paying attention to everything that's going on with the Black Lives Matter movement? I am sensing that they are trying to cause a race war. That's pretty much what I think is about to happen. That's what I think is about to happen. I saw it in the comment area of, basically when they were talking about Breonna Taylor. I saw this on YouTube in the area where people were actually going at it. And then also I'm beginning to hear Black people are talking about kill or be killed. This is not the first time I've heard this. I've heard someone told me that I need to get a gun. I've been told that several times this year that I need to get a gun. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of people were buying guns in March. There was so many people that bought guns. I know family members who didn't have no guns, didn't even want guns in their house. They bought guns. I don't know if you guys know that. A lot of people are carrying around guns now. Not knives, not machetes, guns. And this is putting fear in me a little bit because I don't even like walking around past 9 p.m. anymore. As soon as it get dark, I'm racing home. I'm really trying to tell people with the Breonna Taylor situation, this is not, it's really, 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 there is a lot of lies in there. The media is really lying, and they are trying to get us Black people all riled up, all upset, all crazy and mad and angry. I am very upset for Breonna Taylor. I really do. This was somebody who was innocent, that was not a criminal. There's a lot of lies around this case. Like I state, at this point, I don't know what to say for Black Lives Matter. I think they are, from what I'm seeing, is they're using Black Lives Matter against the Black people, pretty much. The Black people are divided. You got the white supremacists that's coming out to these protests, and they're fighting innocent protesters. You got the regular white people who's out here that don't want to wear no mask, and they also think that we too are using this to get what we want out of it. What else? We also got, I can't say it, but we also got you know who out there, the virus out there as well. Can't say the name because once you start saying the name, YouTube freaking blocks your video, they demonetize it. We have a whole lot of chaos right now. October is a month that a lot of people are scared about, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've seen so many crazy videos on Instagram. On social media in general. There's so much crazy crap. I might be adding it on, throughout the video so you can see it for yourself. Maybe not. I don't know yet if I'm gonna do it, but there's so much crazy crap that's going on. And as the Breonna Taylor case unfolds, I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot of loopholes. Somebody is lying. I feel sorry for Breonna Taylor and her family. I really do. And I want to say this to everybody, not just Black people. I mainly want my Black people to listen. We got to stop trusting in a whole bunch of people. Not everybody out here has our best interests, okay? We can't think that we can change everybody. I, for one, am one of I have a family member that did something to me. That involved a policeman. And I'm beginning to see now, now that I really started to hear this story unfold with Breonna Taylor. Now I'm beginning to notice, yeah, that is true. People can put you in predicaments that you're not trying to even put yourself into. You're trying to get away from that, but because you're holding on to somebody who's a lowlife, guess what's gonna happen? That's what's gonna happen to you, like Breonna Taylor. I really do feel sorry for her, and I really would love to get justice for her, but because of the boyfriend situation, it's messy AF. I'm very upset with the whole Black Lives Matter movement. This is not how it's supposed to be playing out. We're not supposed to be going crazy, tearing up stuff and going crazy. We're supposed to be remaining calm, going handling our business, talking, trying to get justice for certain people. But instead, it's getting blown out of proportion. It's getting blown out of proportion. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, like I state, y'all better stop wearing this goddamn Black Lives Matter shirt and Black Lives Matter mask. If y'all really gonna wear this stuff, you need to do something about it. Stop walking around. It's not a freaking trend. It's not a fashion. I'm sick and tired of seeing this. It's not a fashion. This is about our lives, people. This is about our lives. We got to take it seriously. I think we thinking that this is a, oh, well, this is a fashion. Yes, I'm black and I'm proud. I get it, but we need to take it seriously. And I was trying not to get emotional about this, but I am. And it's really, really sad. This is really sad. And I'm this year is just horrible. Horrible. Let me go ahead and say this. I really don't care about the thumbs up and thumbs down. I really want to know what people's comments are. Please be respectful down below in the comment area. I just want to know what you guys are thinking of the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm seeing a whole lot of drama. That's what I'm seeing. I don't see anything getting done. I see a lot of people going out of control. I see a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, a lot of killing going on. And it's just getting worse. Let me know what you think down below, okay, in the comment area, right? Peace.
I never thought I would be so in vain. And the